Go.
We are the audience.
Okay. Now we'll move.
I'm Justine, and this is my persuasive speech on allowing prayer in public schools. On June 25th, 1962, a day that rests in the minds of the religious, the Supreme Court ruled that government-endorsed prayer in public schools would be unconstitutional. Since that controversial decision was made in 1962, there has been an ongoing effort to include prayer in school. There has been evidence of advancement in certain states, but our goal should be to have every state allow their public schools the opportunity of an optional religious program. In blunt, prayer should be allowed in all schools. To support this thesis, I have 3 main points. First, prayer should be limited instead of prohibited. Second, prayer should allow students to express themselves. And third, diversity of religion is the key to settling this dispute. With an optional program in place, the children will have the choice of limited prayer instead of not being able to show their love and appreciation to the Lord or other religious leaders. This leads to my first point. Prayer should be limited instead of prohibited. Stephen Ingle, the antagonist who started the controversy on praying in school, came together with 7 other parents to hold this case. He quoted that it was against the First Amendment. Religion and expression, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or of the right of the people peaceably to assemble, and to petition the government for a redress of grievance. The initial case was lost by Ingle, with the conclusion that prayer was constitutional as long as it was voluntary. The court came back for an issued appeal and decided that the right to pray in public schools was indeed unconstitutional. Almighty God, we acknowledge our dependence upon Thee, and we beg Thy blessings upon us, our parents, and our teachers, and our country. This religious attack has gone too far. Has anyone looked at this dispute in the opposite eye? Not allowing prayer to the religious is like starving a newborn. It limits opportunities and could be fatal to the stability of persons. The Blaze, an online newspaper, gives us some information on the religious program started. In Illinois, public schools were allowed what's called a release time program, where willing teachers from different faiths had an hour once a week to meet with children that took the optional route of attending this class to receive religious teachings. This is an example of having limited prayer. It does not harm being optional given only an hour's time a week. However, it evens out the rights of the religious versus the non-religious. In sum, prayer should be limited instead of prohibited. This religion should have just as much right to pray as the non-religious have the right not to. Not allowing prayer in school harms children more than people think. God opens up the world to new things, creating light where there is none. Everyone should have the option of experiencing God's work, and school is a great place to see it happen. Now, my second main point, prayer allows students to express themselves. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We as Americans stand under God, as it says in the pledge, which is chanted at school, and it's our right to share that with others. Prayer lets people express themselves in ways they can't, with help from the Lord. Unlike most, God always listens, answering back to us in more than words, but with actions that may not always seem extraordinary, but lead to something astonishing. He gives us the ability to voice our thoughts and express our feelings. Our culture is becoming more diverse. Some people feel like prayer makes them feel better, and others think that it's a waste of time and ridiculous. Prayer isn't an action that should be judged, and isn't an act that is necessary to do, but that doesn't mean that folks that are involved in prayer should have their rights taken away. To summarize my second main point, prayer allows students to express themselves. Prayer isn't for everyone, but is it necessary to take away someone's form of expression because not everyone agrees with it? You would think with the advancement of society that the thoughts on praying in school would increase, but in fact, there is evidence supporting the opposite. This leads to my third main point, the answer to this crisis. Diversity of religion is the key to settling this dispute. Like I said earlier, the United States is becoming more diverse, creating more debates over church-state relations. The worrisome aspect of this is that our country is declining in support for government-sponsored displays and practice, only because we are moving to one specific religion. To associate this with the praying in school matter, it's a well brought up point that schools can't just focus on one religion, but need the choice of many religions. There was a study done that revealed views on praying and reading the Bible in school were stable in 1980 through the 1990s, and it's thought to have continued into the 21st century. In later results, it was found that each ethnicity has their own views on praying in school. If all backgrounds that had their type of religious beliefs allowed in school, what could be the harm? Every child would have a group to belong to and have an opportunity to experience a belief if they would so choose. I explained in my third point that the answer to ending this dispute is by supporting all beliefs in school. People say that prayer will lead to issues in school for children, but how can we know when we've never given it a chance? Prayer should be allowed in all schools. Since that controversial decision was made in 1962, there has been an ongoing effort to include prayer in school. This matter has been a heated topic since the late 1900s and continues into the 21st century, leaving me with the conclusion that it's a never-ending argument. But how can religious practice be ruled unconstitutional when it was never actually attempted in schools? It's up to us to make the change. Bring it to attention in your schools. Use the faith and strength of God to attempt to bring about an optional religious program. It's time to unite church and state relations.